Hello, welcome back. I'm Darren, and today we're just doing a side-by-side of effectively the whole FSR 3.1 on an NVIDIA GPU versus FSR 3.1 on an AMD GPU, because it's something that still gets argued about. I've seen it argued a lot overnight. Also a lot of other stuff like collars and all sorts of stuff. So I mean, effectively, as you can kind of see here, I'm going through the settings that I am recording. So I'm basically trying to record both systems using as close as possible to the same method. I'm at the same resolution. I'm trying not to use any more compression over what I'm using on a different system. So at the moment we are on the RTX 4080 system. We have all the settings at the highest they can be. We are at 1440p. We are using FSR 3.1, and we've just turned off like any motion blur or anything like that. And then we're just going to have a quick kind of look around the game, see what it looks like, see what the colors are like. Now, all of my colors on both of my GPUs, I just leave at standard. I don't know if it's me, I don't know if my monitors are just calibrated right for me, but my colors on both of these recordings you're about to see are how I see them, and it's what I find a natural look. Nothing's too oversaturated. I don't think anything's too undersaturated. I mean, call me wrong, but I think in this the red plants look red and the green grass looks green, so I'm kind of happy with that. I think it looks realistic. I don't think it looks too over the top. And yeah, like I said, we're just going to kind of stop in a few places. As I said, this is on the 4080, so you can probably see the water effect that I was talking about yesterday with FSR 3.1, how it kind of looks in this, and maybe like just a little look at the a bit of the ghosting in the little flying around objects, whatever they are. They don't always show up. It is a little bit nitpicky, admittedly. Like I said, we are on 1440p at quality, so it's not like we're throwing it down to super performance or anything crazy. So I mean, I haven't tested it, but I can only imagine things get worse as we go down through the upscalers. So I think I'm being kind of fair in showing what someone might use. I suppose if you look at the performance, it's a kind of realistic performance target maybe for someone at 1440p. But yeah, this is basically just looking at, like I said, just looking at the overall image, the colors, and the issues that we were kind of, or the issues that presented themselves with FSR 3.1, which was mostly to do with the water more than anything else. Like I said, there is a bit of ghosting. The rest of the image, from what I've seen, isn't too bad. You might get a little bit of flickering when you're moving around, but nothing. I don't know how to compare it to the previous, so I'm not comparing it to the previous FSR implementation. All I can compare it to is what is available at the moment. And this is just basically showing you FSR 3.1 running on a NVIDIA GPU. And just, like I said, it's almost impossible to get an exact like for like because recording methods aren't exactly the same. But we'll swap over to the AMD GPU. Again, I'll quick go through my recording settings. So again, we're on OBS. As you can see, we're 1440p. We're recording at 60 FPS. And I'll just go through my recording methods. Now, obviously, one's using the NVIDIA AV1 and this is using the AMD AV1. So are they like for like? I don't know. We're kind of using the same bit rate. We're using the high quality on both. So hopefully it's as close as I can get. I can't do any more than that. Maybe if I was external capturing and, you know, capturing both machines to a separate machine, I don't know if that, through a capture card, I don't know if that would make them possibly more accurate. I've no idea. I can only do what I can do with the machines that I've got, and I mean, at the end of the day, if there is a difference to be seen, I don't know what level you'd have to go to see this. I can't say categorically that FSR looks 100% the same on an AMD GPU as what it does on a NVIDIA GPU. But what I can say is I don't see a difference. Now, if an image is stopped and zoomed in at I don't know how many times, and someone points out a very slight difference, well, that's fair enough. But I still wouldn't see that as enough of a significant difference that it would actually matter. Because all of the issues sounds a bit rough, but the issues that I have brought up that I've seen in FSR 3.1 are still there clearly to see, whether it's on NVIDIA or AMD. Now, if one is slightly microscopically different on one or the other, I don't really think that makes a difference. I mean, there are issues, and they are both there to be seen on both. So does it really matter? I mean, the thing is, it's kind of pretty obvious from when I first showed you the issues that for anyone on a NVIDIA GPU, well, you just put DLSS on and those issues go away. So I think there seems to be a bit of an argument that people on NVIDIA GPUs are giving FSR a bad name because these issues don't exist on AMD GPUs. They only exist when you're using FSR on a NVIDIA GPU. Well, I don't know if someone's watching something different from what I'm watching, but those issues look exactly the same to me. Now, I'm not going to say they are 100% microscopically the same. I don't know. But the issues that are present, I can still see, and I can still see them regardless if I'm looking on a NVIDIA GPU or if I'm looking on an AMD GPU. It's not like the issues with the water and the issues with the ghosting with FSR, as soon as I run it through the XTX, those issues just completely disappear. So yeah, I just wanted to put a side-by-side, show you basically what the colors look like at default settings if you don't mess around with them. I'm not going to say that they're identical. I think AMD do use a slightly different color palette from what NVIDIA do. I think they use a what would be the word for it? A higher Kelvin value. I think NVIDIA are 6,500 Kelvin value, and I think AMD might be slightly warmer than 6,500 Kelvin. So they might have a slight color pop on like reds and greens, which would obviously pop a bit higher. So basically that was those two side by side, and then we're just going to quick run this smaller area here in just a shorter video. I didn't want to put them side by side because as soon as you put them side by side, you shrink the value of each screen, and then in shrinking the value of each screen, it's then harder to see. So I didn't run them side by side. I've just run these two kind of smaller videos together, just to show an area, without going through the entire walkthrough. And obviously, like I said, this will just show it, the slight ghosting with the white stuff and the water effect. Now the water effect probably doesn't look so obvious now because I'm not going back to native, but if you watch my previous videos, you'll see that the water doesn't look particularly nice here, and in native it looks better. But I'll leave it there, and hopefully this has been of use to someone.